Good evening, and welcome back to the Owlygarchy. The sunset is so beautiful in Bohemia, don't you think? And look at this majestic castle. People have started the fires to warm during the night, but we're going adventuring. More precisely, we are going towards the hunter near Takov. Vagrant's hut. I think I'm steering towards the west. Yep. Towards the west we need to go. I've lifted some weights. 1.5 tons. That's like 3,000 pounds. And now my hands hurt so much. I can barely move the mouse.
Quick!
I haven't lifted weights in about a month or so. And I felt a little bit out of touch. But I pushed myself. Maybe more than I should have.
God!
Okay, let's see how much things have changed around here. I'm also gonna have to do a pilgrimage.
God!
Man, Pebble's really fast. I don't think I should be going down towards the water. Should I? Crayfish shoal. Booze stash, hidden treasure.
Go!
Those were wolves.
Whoa!
Don't... No. What the heck happened? How much did I fall? Get up, get up, get up, Henry. There are wolves coming. Nice. Ow. Okay, got that one. And got that one as well. Only 3? No, there's another one. Come at me, fool. Excellent. Pebbles is not brave enough. And it almost costed me my life. Well, since I'm off to see the hunter, I bet he'll buy the wolf ears off of me. Thank you, Mutt, for protecting me. I thought you didn't love me anymore. I'm glad to see I was wrong. More wolves. Excellent. What is this place? Hidden treasure, herdsman.
The wolves must have dug him up.
The herdsman, but why was he buried? The herdsman. Who killed the herdsman? Why did they do it? Well, burn down camp. I honestly don't know where I am. Abandoned beehives. Leave spring. I have no clue where I am. I've never seen this before. I have absolutely no clue where I am. Wish I found someone to ask for directions.
Whoa! Go!
Hold on a second.
Whoa!
If the castle's there, this guy's sleeping because it's... Okay, if the castle is there... And I am here. Camp by the road. And what am I here? What am I here? Is this Takov? It doesn't look like Takov. Ah, it is Takov, I think.
Quick!
I see the orchard. Yeah, but no one's gonna sell anything to me now.
Go home and sleep it off. You're getting married tomorrow.
Kiss my ass! Another round!
I'm putting this nicely, since you're practically my brother now. Go home, or we'll drag you there.
Laying a hand on family! Shame on you!
Quick!
Okay, and from Takov I should just head west. Right? Yeah. I'm sorry about that herds boy.
No one's coming.
Yeah!
And
Die!
I bet they didn't like that.
Quick!
Did they hit my horse again? I think they did. It's a slaughter. I'm off to see the huntsman. Let's meet the huntsman.
Whoa!
Who's there? Just a human. They closed the door. What do you mean? Am I no longer accepted inside?
Ave Maria.
Ave Maria, Slaughter.
Greetings, sir.
I thought I was a friend. I thought you consider me one of your own.
Henry, it's good to see you. Listen, would you like to stop by sometime? After all that's happened, I could really use someone to talk to.
Sure. I'll stop by when I have the time.
I have the time right now.
Do you buy wolf ears?
That's right. You get a few groschen for every dead animal.
Here they are.
A dead wolf is a good...
Hello, Elizabeth.
Nobody's going to cry for them around here.
Thank you very much. That's very generous of you, but right now I'm not interested in that. Thank you. I've had so many offers when I was streaming on Twitch. Offers like that, and actually all the messages were offers like that. But I'm not really interested in that right now. Thank you. Maybe in the future. Thank you.
Why don't we go and have a seat somewhere now?
Aye, I did. Come, let's have a seat outside, so we can admire the view at least.
Oh, but
Henry.
it's night.
Tell me something. How do you cope? When I asked you to kill those poachers, you went and did it without any remorse.
Some people don't deserve to live. Killing isn't right. Don't think about it.
Murder is a sin. There's no doubt about that. But sometimes you don't have a choice.
Aye, you're bloody right about that.
Why'd you ask?
Being von Burgau's huntsman isn't my only job. From time to time, he gives me a different task.
What do you mean by that?
The first time was 2 winters ago. The Chamberlain summoned me one night. Said he needed something taken care of. The lass couldn't have been older than 15. A servant at the castle. I saw young Sir Jan being dragged away from her.
Jan?
Von Burgau's son. He's at Sbarrow now. So you couldn't have met him. I don't know what they told her, but she rode behind me obediently. I brought her deep into the woods, and then, when you shoot a deer, and it doesn't make a sound, you know you did a good job. It didn't suffer, you know. But this lass shrieked like a banshee.
You killed her?
Was I supposed to refuse an order from my lord?
So that's why he drinks. Oh my goodness, I'm getting chills. Who was she? Why did they want her killed?
Who was this girl?
I don't know. I reckon I saw her a few times at the castle. A maid, I suppose. She had hair like straw and blue eyes. I keep seeing her in my dreams.
Why did von Burgov have her killed?
When I came over to her, as she was laying on the ground, screaming, to put her out of her misery, that's when I saw it. She was with child. I reckon she was carrying Jan's
No.
bastard. And von Burgov was against it.
So that wasn't the only time you had to do something like that?
It wasn't. Usually they just give me a body to get rid of in the woods. The wolves take care of it. But this was different. It haunts my dreams. The only time I forget about it is when I'm drunk senseless.
I understand now. Is there anything I can do for you?
I didn't expect you were going to tell me something like that. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know.
That's all right, Henry. Lending your ear is more than enough.
Does your family know?
I told Zlata, but not Vitek. The lad is young. He shouldn't have to worry about things like that. But enough talk, Henry. Thanks for sitting here with me.
In the middle of the
one more
night.
thing. I'd appreciate if you didn't tell anyone about this.
You have my word.
In the middle of the night, he poured his heart to me.
I'd like to learn.
There's no time.
I did not expect that. Ah, man. That's a lot. Do you want a drink?
I'm a bit lost. Do you know where we are?
Boss attack, you have a beautiful family. Don't lose it. Treasure it. Apparently everyone has a smokehouse. You just have to go close to it. Well, since I'm here, I think I feel like just sitting and reading something. That was a lot to unload from Vostek. Fox potion increases your reading speed. Well, we're gonna have a lot to read. Monastic rule of Saint Benedict II on monastic obedience and the monastery abbot. The light is good. It's good for reading during the night. The first degree of humility is obedience without hesitation. These besiegment. Those who either through fear of hell... My goodness, what are you doing, Mutt? Okay, I understand, you came back. What do you want from me?
Come here! Come here! Come here! Here, Mutt!
Good, Mutt.
Aye, aye, you silly doggy.
Hey there, Elizabeth. Yes, I can see your messages. I know. I already know the tactic you're using. I've seen it on Twitch enough. Thanks. This beseemeth, those who either through fear of hell or for the glory of life everlasting count nothing more dear to them than Christ. Hey, AWSO. Yo, how's it going? I'm back. Dude, I listened to your advice and I went to Vostatek. He unloaded, some heavy burden on me. Now I understand why he drinks. It makes so much sense. I feel so sorry for this guy. This presently, as soon as anything is commanded them by the superior, make no delay in doing it, just as if the command had come from God. This obedience will then be acceptable to God and pleasing to man, if what is commanded be not done fearfully, slowly, coldly, or with murmuring, or an answer showing unwillingness, because the obedience which is given to superiors is given to God, who had said, He that heareth you, heareth me. Hence it ought to be done by the disciples with a good will, because God loveth a cheerful giver. If the disciple obey, I think it should be if the disciple obey with ill will and murmur, not only in words but also in heart, although if he fulfill what is commanded him, it will not be acceptable to God, who considered the heart of the murmurer. For such a work he shall not have any reward, but rather incurreth the penalty of murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. Not gonna lie, seeing the game in 4K better than the fog water quality I played on. Oh, yeah, it looks awesome. It looks great. It's not the best looking game, but it's very realistic, and I like the art direction of this game. When therefore anyone taketh upon himself the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold doctrine, that is, he ought first to show them all virtue and sanctity more by deeds than by words. Hence, to such as are intelligent, he may declare the commandments of God by words, but to the hard-hearted, and to those of the ruder sort, he must make these precepts manifest by his actions and by his life. Therefore the abbot ought to teach, ordain, or command nothing but what is conformable to the commands of our Lord. But let his commands and doctrine be mingled in the minds of his disciples with the leaven of divine justice. Let there be no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let not one be loved or favored more than another, except he be found to surpass the rest in good works and in obedience. With the more virtuous and intelligent, let him for the first or second time use words of admonition. But the stubborn, the hard-hearted, the proud, and the disobedient, even in the very beginning of their sin, let him chastise with stripes and bodily punishment, knowing that it is written, The fool is not corrected with words. And again, strike thy son with a rod, and thou shalt deliver his soul from death. You know what? Let me go buy some snacks. Dog water. Okay. I fed Mutt. You have to feed your dog as well. Okay, on Saint Wilgefortis of Staratosa. Some books are written in such a manner that I can read it more fluently. Others I stagger a little bit, especially that English is not my mother tongue. And I need to drink a lot of water while I read this. About Saint Wilgefortis, or the Staratosta. Wilgefortis, or in the Bohemian tongue, Saint Staratosta, was a girl and saint who lived in the land of Portugal at the very end of Rome's greatness and witnessed great movements of the people and the great strife and unrest that the entire continent faced from the barbarian pagans, particularly from the Huns, Goths, and Avars. Staratosta was a virtuous girl and did live in love of Christ, but her father, a nobleman, wished to marry her to the chief of a pagan tribe in order to gain more land and to please the raiders. Hi again, welcome back. I'm reading a few books. I need to unwind because I just met with the Hunter Vostatek and he unloaded a very heavy burden that he had on his soul. And now I understand why he drinks. The wretched girl, wishing to avoid this unwanted union, began to pray, and she prayed to God and to all the saints for so long that she grew a thick beard, the type which old men have, which thus prevented the wedding from occurring. That's funny. A young girl with an old man's beard. The barbarian chieftain, having seen his would-be bride and her beard, one that not even he would be ashamed of, withdrew from the marriage. But her father was infuriated that the wedding had been called off, and he had his daughter crucified, for this all transpired in times when Christians were still persecuted. Staratosta, also known as Vilcur Fortis, from a corruption of the Latin virgo, that is virgin, and fortis, that is strong, who became the patron saint and protector of all that have been unjustly condemned, never achieved as much fame as other saints. But nonetheless, several statues and paintings that do portray this bearded virgin on a cross can be found. Funny, not funny, I don't know. More alcohol and more stories. On Saint Venceslas. Yes, and I've reached level 18 on scholarship. On Saint Venceslas and his death, there was a prince in Bohemia named Vratislav, and his wife was Drahomira. A son was born to them, and they named him Venceslas. After the untimely death of his father, he was to sit on the throne, but he was still immature, so his mother administered the country and his grandmother Ludmila took care of Venceslas' upbringing. His brother Boleslav grew up with him, but they did not have much in common. By the grace of God, Venceslas learned to read and write. He was educated in books and firm in his faith, and he could wield a sword, but he loved peace and his country above all else. He did good to all the poor, clothed the naked and fed the hungry, protected the servants of God and built many churches. He was an example to his people and a ruler more pleasing than all. He always negotiated with his enemies in good terms, and they had to bow down before his piety. He glorified God with all his heart and did so many good deeds that it would be impossible to count them. It is no wonder that the devil sowed hatred in the hearts of many corrupted men and set them against Venceslas. Like Judas, he stirred them up to rise against their Lord, and they whispered to Boleslaus that his brother wanted his life. Boleslaus, believing these words, out of fear and malice, devised a plan to deprive his brother Venceslas and his throne and his life. Of his throne and his life. He knew that whenever the dedication of a temple was celebrated somewhere, Venceslas himself would go to the temple to pray. So he entered the castle of Boleslaus on the Sunday of the feast of Cosmas and Damian, and when he had heard the mass, he was going back to Prague. But his brother detained him and invited him to dine and drink, which Venceslas did not refuse. Early in the morning, Venceslas rose and hurried to the morning service. When he met his brother at the gate of the church, he said to him, "Brother, you served us well yesterday." Then Boleslaus, prompted by the devil, replied, "And now I will serve you even better." And after saying this, he struck Venceslas on the head with his sword. And the dogs of Boleslaus rushed in, and together with their master they slew Venceslas, and left his body cut in pieces before the church. Boleslaus then succeeded his brother on the throne. Venceslas had been canonized and made the patron saint of the entire Czech lands. To him we cry out when things are worst, and to him we pray, "Saint Venceslas, patron of our country, intercede for us." Yes, it was as bad as he told you. Yep. Okay, only a few more books. Let me sip a little water. On the Margravite Wars. When Emperor Charles IV had taken his last breath, order in both the Bohemian lands and in the entire Holy Roman Empire began to deteriorate. The new emperor, Wenceslas IV, could not maintain unity and prosperity, and thus this union of states did begin to unravel, and its rulers, without a strong hand to guide them, did begin to quarrel and conspire against each other. In the lands of the Bohemian crown, and particularly in the Margraviate of Moravia, it led to support for Sigismund of Hungary, the brother of Wenceslas IV, who was seen as a better ruler, who could resolve conflict and quell disorder. Wars in Moravia began when King Wenceslas, represented by his cousin Prokop, after the death of the bishop of Olomouc, did occupy for himself all of his estates and did consider them to be his own, and the tide of resistance did rise as many of the Moravian nobles claimed these states as their own according to inheritance rights. Jobst of Moravia stood at the head of the discontent lords, and with support from the most of the Moravian dukes, he began to openly rebel against the king and did ally himself with Sigismund of Hungary. This act of rebellion was not so much about the bishop's estate, but about who would rule Bohemia and Moravia, Wenceslas or Sigismund. For the time being, however, only inheritance rights are spoken about aloud, for no one has yet dared to make mention of dethroning the king. Moravia has found itself in a whirlwind of fighting and anarchy, where the local nobility have plundered each other's towns and conquered each other's castles, depending on whose side they were and to whom they believed these states should belong to. How many villages were razed to the ground, and how many innocent lives were taken in the name of this tug of war. Many knights who had up to that point demonstrated behavior and deeds fitting to their rank now formed robber bands, and on the highways attacked and murdered travelers and merchants alike, for there was no one to stop them. Later, other Bohemian lords did side with the Moravian cause, with Jobst at the head, and the king was imprisoned, and Sigismund was openly supported to become the new king of the land. This book is very beautifully drawn, has beautiful drawings on the sides. I like it. A little more alcohol. On the Prince Electors, the Holy Roman Empire stretches from sea to sea and does occupy most of the European continent. Within it, there are many countries and many kingdoms, which are united under one crown and which is called the Empire. It is ruled over by an emperor, who judges the kings and dukes and who reigns supreme over all of the lands of the empire. It is an elected title, for when the old emperor dies, a new emperor is elected by the Prince Electors, of which there are 7 and who are called in the German tongue, Kurfürsten. Emperor Charles did establish the system in his Golden Bull, and these 7 electors are as follows: the Archbishop of Mainz, as the Imperial Chancellor of the German lands, the Archbishop of Cologne, as the Arch-Chancellor of the Italian lands, the Archbishop of Trier, as the Chancellor of Burgundy, Count Palatine, that's not the Palpatine, it's Palatine, of the Rhine, as the Archmarshal, the Duke of Saxony, as the Archmarshal, the King of Bohemia, as the Arch-Cupbearer, and finally Margrave of Brandenburg, as the Arch-Chamberlain. All of these electors must agree upon an emperor and confirm his election, and then the emperor must accept the crown from the Pope to confirm his title, which in current times is a complicated affair, for there are 2 who claim to be Pope, and no one knows which one is the true one. Interesting lore. I need to drink something to clear my head. Selections of amorous poetry. Oh, this is gonna be raunchy. Gentle night, why linger on? I yearn thus for my love so long, without her words to calm my breast. who shall set my soul to rest? And now my heart in sorrow dwells, from melancholic pinning swells, since, alas, I was forced to part from the mistress of my heart. Oh, Lord, let me not wait in vain, I yearn to see my love again. O gentle sir, be of good cheer, I shall not cling to another dear. To love and be forlorn is like night without a dawn. To be close with naught to say, like winter frost in May. To have lips and yet kiss not is like leaving rain to rot. To love without consummating is like unsown fields in the spring. I shall love you then, my dear, as long as you lie with me here. Okay. If you will give your all to me, no longer shall I bide with thee. Under the sky's great mass, you crumble and fall apart. Your body falls to the grass, silent and unheard. Throughout the night you dance, held in a mythical sway, till a strike to the chest from a lance drives the curse away. Upon your heart now burned 1,000 fleeting dreams, materialized into one, the end of earthly schemes. In memory it holds you as heavenward you rise, for you have stopped the blow meant to bring you demise. Okay, that was interesting. From the Amateur's Adventures of Sir Hans Capon. You should look up his version in YouTube whenever you have a chance. He has his ways with words. I'm gonna look that up. Thank you, lol. That one is from KCD1. Okay. The Czech campaign to Lombardy. This is Italy. Current day Italy. Lombardia. Is it the north? I think it's the north of Italy. Milano. In Italian, I think is in Lombardia. I'm not sure. I was never really good with geography. The mighty Emperor Frederick, known as Barbarossa, decided to invade the country of Lombardy, for the elders and burghers there were ignoring the imperial charter, dishonoring it and disregarding imperial power, and also because the treacherous Lombards wanted to agree a pact with the Pope against the emperor and to usurp his power. Knowing well the courage and skills of the Bohemian warriors, the emperor asked the Czech prince, Vladislav of the House of Přemyslide, for the support of his troops in the campaign. In return for his aid, the emperor let the Bohemian prince be crowned and issued a royal edict, so that the Czechs would have a king of their own. So the emperor did in January of the year MCLV. M is 1000, CL C is 100, L is 50, and V and 8. 1158. Okay, I got it. In the year thereafter, the emperor and his forces marched on Lombardy to bring order to the country and especially to humble the rich and glorious city of Milan. Yeah, Milan, I knew it. Where the greatest insurrection was underway. Here too the Czechs were of great help, bravely fighting the Lombards wherever they encountered them. They built a bridge across the river Ada, where the Milanese had torn down the old bridge to halt the emperor's advance. The Czechs held off the Lombardian troops so that the emperor and his army could cross the river and besiege the town. And so it came about that in the month of August the city was besieged and the Czechs were given the task of guarding the gate of St. Dionysius. I've actually been in Milan. Milan is the capital of fashion in Italy. I'm not sure if it's the capital of fashion in Europe, but definitely in Italy. I think it's one of the richest cities in Italy, along with Torino. But my favorite city in Italy is what's it called in English? I have to think about the name. It's on my tongue. I can't really think of it now. Anyway, let me continue the story and probably I'll remember. For a month, the imperial army laid siege, engaging more than once with the Milanese, and every time the Czechs fought bravely and powerfully, for which they subsequently earned great recognition from both the imperial soldiers and the Milanese. The Czechs, though, thought up all manner of ruses and tricks to frighten the enemy, such as making life-sized figurines of bread, though golems, like the Miller Crazel wanted to do, which within sight of the battlements they roasted on a fire and ate, to spread fear among the Milanese that they ate children, or blackening their faces with charcoal and fighting wildly, so the enemy would think it was not men but devils who were attacking them. But it is also said that the Czechs shot poisoned arrows at the foe and all manners of other unrighteous deeds. Okay, let's read part 2, because this was interesting. And the campaign to Lombardy. The king of Bohemia, Vladislav, killed the Milanese standard-bearer with his own hands. The Milanese, seeing that the fight against the emperor and the Bohemians was futile, appealed to King Vladislav to intercede on their behalf with the emperor and to help find a peaceful solution. This was done, and the Milanese succumbed to the emperor, recognized his authority, and paid a large ransom, for which the emperor left them many rights and confirmed old ones. Then the emperor again pronounced Vladislav a king, and the Czechs returned home crowned with much glory and wealth. Many great Bohemian houses of the ancient origin commemorate their ancestors who fought so bravely at Milan. I didn't know about this. I knew about a Saxon who went and conquered, he went on a conquering spree all the way to Rome. His name was Brennus, and he asked for his weight in gold to leave the city. And when the Romans said, you're asking too much, he took his sword and he said, Ve victis, woe to the conquered, and he threw it on the scales, and then they had to pay his weight in gold as well as his great sword, which weighed more than 20 kilos, I think, so I don't know, it was very heavy, so they had to pay even more gold. Anyway, many great Bohemian houses of the ancient origin commemorate their ancestors who fought so bravely at Milan. One was granted a golden ladder in their coat of arms for scaling the walls and being the first to surmount them. Jeźdźcy of Pardubice and his cavalry were said to have forced their way into the town and pillaged there. When they were going back, the defenders, in an effort to stop them, hurried to lower the iron portcullis. Jeźdźcy managed to flee the town, but the falling portcullis killed his horse, cutting it in two. Sad. And he had to get back to the siege encampment on foot with his loot, for which he was given in his coat of arms a half-silver horse, which to this day the lord of Pardubice bear on their standards and shields. The Bohemian nobility have long commemorated the glorious campaign as proof of the bravery and warfaring skills of all Bohemians. I'm not sure if you enjoy me reading all these books, but I find them fascinating. I feel like it's a waste not to read them. The developers, they made efforts, and I think they deserve recognition for this. You wicked blacksmiths, the filthy gang. Let me drink a little bit of water, because this is gonna be fun. Blacksmiths, let ye pay good heed, and stoop not to dishonest deeds, which some do, carrying not a jot, as sinful you regard it not. Tools of wicked trade to make, unscrupulously for profit's sake. A thief comes creeping, out of sight, to your house in darkest night, and says, Master, rise and shine, I'll reward you well with coin, if you'll just forge secretly certain implements for me. Forge for me a powerful saw that will cut even iron right through, that nothing can resist at all, whether it be big or small. And also a dagger of sharpest steel that I can beneath my cloth conceal. Forge me 10 strong keys as well, better than any in heaven or hell, which will open any lock on earth. Blacksmith, give me my money's worth. Thus with promise of reward, he tempts the master with honeyed words. This the blacksmith gladly hears, the thief words music to his ears. All the tools that you may need, I shall willingly forge indeed. All that you ask I'll deliver, as long as you pay me in silver. With groschen we will fill your purse, when you bring these things to us. Come to us in deepest woods, where our merry band will await your goods. God gifted you with golden hands, but riches you'll get from a robber's band. The smith's bargain with the thief is done. Honor and conscience he has none. He'd sell his soul to anyone. My attention span isn't long enough to read all of that. Okay, it took me 10 minutes, but I read them all. It was fun. Most faithful friend. This is just a skill book. As they say, to the master, the meat, to the dog, the bone. But as we know, when hungry, a dog will eat anything from his master's dinner in his neighbor's shoe. To his neighbor's shoe. So it's to your own good knowing the command to keep him away from unwanted treats. 2 hours. This is not the best position to read, but... Okay, and I increased my... Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's have another schnapps. And on heraldry. Charges general. The charges depicted on the coats of arms are indicative of the character of their owners. Lords with a lion in their coat of arms are usually valiant. Those with a horse are noble. However, it is better not to think too much about the origin of figures such as rakes, brays, or a pig's head. 3 hours, man. It's already morning. Okay, our scholarship, I got 2 level ups in scholarship. Excellent.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you too,
I
Zlata.
heard they're going to cut down the old
God
oak
bless.
at the crossroads.
Greetings to
Oh,
you.
no. Why? A lovely tree like that. It's a nice place to rest when you're passing
75. Henry is really hungry.
far wide.
That's just it. Some noble was resting under it. Not for shade, but because it was pissing down.
All the more reason to leave it be, no?
Aye, but the weather had been stormy for a few days. So one of the branches snapped and fell off. Nothing happened to the noble.
I didn't give the book to Crazel yet. I'm about to do it.
Wants his revenge?
He complained to the bailiff.
I just had it that way.
And the oak. Has to go.
It's my next
There'll
destination.
be nothing nice left here at this rate.
I have a question and I require your help.
That tree was here long after we're gone.
When I played the game in spring for about 20 hours, I got to scholarship. It was standard gameplay, not hardcore difficulty. I reached scholarship level 18. Right now I'm at scholarship level 19, and there's a... I remember this perk, Explorer. Every morning you gaze at the horizon and wonder what might be beyond it. You are drawn to distant places, like to fill in the blank spots on maps, and boldly go where others may not have gone before. The entire map is revealed, showing all settlements, fast travel spots, hunting grounds, caves, and other interesting places. Should I get this or not? That was my question. That reveals all points of interest in the map. Yeah. I played the game on standard difficulty just until I got... I didn't get to the wedding. It was before going to wedding. I already had reached level 18 in scholarship. And I got this perk, but it's not important, but you should get it. Will it help me or will I regret it? I saved the game. Let me check the map. Okay, I'm not seeing... I'm sure I'm not seeing everything right now. I'm here. I definitely know that there is... there are some caves around Trotsky Castle. I don't actually remember where. Quarry below, no vagrants. There are a lot of interesting places that are not part of any quest. It helps. Okay, okay. I was thinking, because now on hardcore difficulty, whenever I get near a point of interest, it shows me here like, you discovered, what's this? Booze stash. You discovered the booze stash. And then when I open the map, I say, oh, okay, so I'm here. North of the camp, just to the right. North of the camp, just to the right here. Huh, interesting. Thanks. Helps in Gutenberg, so you don't have to explore everything. Okay. Okay, okay, so let me see. Explorer. Huh? Oh, but this is good. Oh, it's good that they're black and white, they're not colored. Oh my goodness, so many places. There's a shrine. Boo stash. Hollow tree. Hunter's camp. Another booze stash. Who's stashing all this booze? Do you feel like climbing a mountain? Yeah. I think I remember there was a tough mountain and I climbed it when I played the standard version. I don't actually remember where it was. I think it was called the Devil's Finger. Devil's middle finger. Bandits at Kerchuk Pond. Go to the Devil's Teeth, I think. What you didn't walk up shows in white. Yeah. It's nice. Everything that's not discovered now. Murdered Flautist. Huh. Bench under Trotsky, Apple Orchard, Apollonia. Tunnel in the cliffs. Yeah, okay. St. John's Fire. Oh, man. And cave in Apollonia. Cave under Trotsky. Did you do the Brunswick quest? Yes, I finished Brunswick's quest. I equipped everything, but in the meantime, I think I found a few pieces of armor that were better. I crafted Brunswick's poleaxe. It's really good. It's fast and deals a lot of damage. You can chain combos one after another. I think it's overpowered. After you reach at least level 10 in polearms, it becomes so good. It's level 17, I can defeat almost anyone. The only disadvantage is that you have to use blacksmith kits to repair it. But that's not such a bad thing. Old grave, boar hunting spot. Okay, oh, here is the Devil's Finger. Okay. Should we go hunting for things or should we go to Miller Crazel and deliver the book? Pagan burial ground. Fishing spot, broken wagon. Yeah, in one versus one, maybe even 1 versus 2, the poleaxe is very good. You're a saber enjoyer. Yeah, I'd like to learn sabers, swords. But first I said I'm gonna level up my polearms and heavy weapons, and then maybe I'll definitely get into swords. Go to Crazel, he has a follow-up non-quest. Okay. We're gonna visit Crazel, but on our way maybe we'll discover this uncovered skeleton. Okay. It is morning, it's 6 o'clock. I think that's the east, that's the west. Must be the south. Let me check on the map. I hope I'm not... yeah. Definitely. If the smoke... There's the smoke house. So this must be the south. Let me look at the house again. And if I open the map, also go and see the wild woman. Yeah, the Devozhenka. I don't know if there's more to her story. I just went there and I found her dead. Killed by the villagers. Those bastards. The wild woman in the woods. She had a few groschen stashed. Also, she had a lot of potions. She was trying to live her life away from society, but they killed her. Okay, uncovered skeleton. Look at the herbs and potions she had. All of them were healing. Yeah. She was a healer. And she had savor schnapps. Savor schnapps and only potions. No poisons. Huh. Where is that skeleton? I don't understand. Is this the house? Yeah, this is the house. Okay. And from this house, you just have to go south. Go to the road below. It is up the hill when the rocks end. Uncovered skeleton. Go to the road below. Okay, don't fall. Okay. Mutt, please bark. Please bark when you find anything.
Here,
Yes.
Mutt.
I'll feed you. Just help me find anything useful. What was that? Oh, that's a strange visual effect. Look at the leaves. It acts like a lens. Camp by the road. Where is the camp by the road? Huh. Oh no, I went this way. That's why I didn't find it. Oh, I'm so foolish. I'm such a fool. I was heading west instead of heading south. This is south. Yeah, I'm too far in the east. In the end, I figured it out. Are we hungry, Mutt?